we have a question that I got this week, and he said, what is your stance on just offering a date when a woman significantly delays a response? So this is in response to a guy's question I answered last week. He had been talking to a girl, had gone out a couple of times, and then she had kind of stopped responding to him, and he didn't know if he should what he should do next. And I said, just ask her on a date. Like most girls, I keep trying to stress to you guys that most women do not want to be part of a text stream with you. Like, I get it. In today's modern age, texting is all the rage, but I have too many women that I've known in my lifetime on my side of things that I've been able to see tell me, hey, when guys I met are just texting me nonstop, it's annoying. I have things to do. I have a job. I don't want to be in front of my phone all the time trying to answer this guy's messages. So you guys aren't winning over women by texting all the time. So I told this guy, instead of just trying to have a random conversation, just text her and ask her for a date and see what she says. And worst case scenario, she won't answer back, or she'll say she's not free, and then you leave her alone. And so he did that. He said, I followed your advice in the most recent live and figured I wouldn't eliminate her due to a delayed response. I responded to the girl, because I think she responded like a week or so later. Oh, this is the girl he met online where, that was okay. He had met the girl online and it started a conversation, and then like she just went away for a week. And I had stressed that women, when they do online dating, sometimes they get so burdened with like 50 or 60 or 70 messages just off being there on day one that it can overwhelm them. And they sometimes may go away and then come back and only answer the questions that were sent by guys that she really seems to really like, right? And so he was feeling some kind of way about that. And I was just like, dude, women, their experience of dating online is different than ours. So give her the benefit of the doubt. And now that she's responding back to you, and she responded back by sending you 2 texts, that's good indicator that she wants to meet up with you, have a dialogue. So let's forego trying to have a long, drawn-out conversation and just ask her for the friggin' date. And I go over this, by the way, extensively in my Get Girls Academy, because I have a program in there called Smart Digital Dating that teaches you the ways in which you need to ask women out from dating apps, one of which is, how long do you need to message a girl before you ask her out? Spoiler, not a long time, but when you ask her out, there's a sequence you need to do to make sure that you're able to get the date. So this guy, he responded to the girl, but just offered the date, so he didn't try to do a frivolous conversation, to which she accepted. So he was feeling some kind of way about not having a long, drawn-out conversation, and I just said, she probably doesn't want that. She's on a dating app to date. She wants to be asked on a date. She responded to you. She wants a date. And what happened? The next time he reaches out to her, he asks for a date, and she says, yeah, let's do it. That's all that's supposed to happen. So he says, my reasoning is to just find out if she's willing to get to know me or not. Well, she said yes to the date, which means at the very least, she's open to the inquiry that is trying to find out more about you. Always a great thing. He says, I guess she may want to get to know me. Yes. I didn't see a reason to entertain and or continue a convo if I'm just going to get ghosted again. Exactly. He says, with that said, did you think I made a smart move by just offering a date? Or did I just put myself in a position to get played by way of free drinks and a dinner? So first off, I want to say that I'm glad you followed the advice, because like I said, girls date differently on dating apps. Also, life happens. Things happen where like they need to just get away and not be responding on their phone all the time. And so that's great. Also, you offering the date finally, very, very strong move. You cut through all the fluff and went straight to, hey, let's go on a date. And her response was, yes, take the victory. Like, don't be questioning, well, what's this about and why she did it? No. You asked her for a date. She said yes. I can assure you, women get a ton of messages from guys, most of whom admittedly don't ask her out because they're afraid to do it. And the few that do, she's not saying yes to all those offers. So she said yes. That is a net win for you. Take the victory. Now, in terms of did you get played? So I get what this guy's thinking, right? He's thinking, I didn't hear from this woman for a week. And then she responded back to me after a week. And then when I asked her for a date, she said yes. What does this mean? Could this potentially be a foodie call where she just needs a free meal and is like, oh, I'll get one of these suckers to this and that? Look, here's the reality, guys. I'm going to be completely honest with you, right? Yes, there are women out there that we've seen on videos where they'll say, oh, I don't have to buy groceries this entire year because I just accept dates from guys and they take me out and I get food. Yay. So that I'm not going to lie and say that cannot happen. What I am going to say, and this is from, again, my experience of doing online dating, my experience interviewing women, right, is that it takes a lot for a woman to think about going on a date and then looking at the prospect of having to potentially get new clothes, and which means she has to spend money, and then having to get her hair done and her makeup done and showering, when the options are go on date with person I don't know or stay home and watch Netflix and pet my dog. That is what you're fighting. You're fighting against a woman that is more likely to want comfort. So when she says yes to a date, what she's saying is, I feel enough comfort with this guy to give him a shot. He is worth getting off my couch and going outside into the real world and putting gas in my car gas tank and driving halfway across town in traffic to meet up with this person. Now, could she be doing that for a free meal? She 100% could, but also that's a lot of effort to do that when, let's be real, guys, most women know enough simps and orbiters that they can contact to be able to get them free food. Just saying. So I don't need you to look at this as she could potentially be using me. That is always going to be a possibility. But if you just went with that thought, you would never go on a date, because I would say in my dating life, of all the girls that I've ever gone out with, I can count on my fingers like maybe 2 women that I could tell, oh, they're in this for the free meal. But the majority of them weren't there for that. But also, I don't put out there dates that are highly expensive for women that I don't know. Like he met this girl online, so he's planning a date. I wouldn't expect him to plan a date to like a steak restaurant or Mr. Chow's or some place where he's going to spend like hundreds of dollars. The places that I typically go to are like Chinese food places, pizza places where we can either split a pizza or get our own individual ones where I know in advance what the price is, so I know what I'm paying and it's not usually more than 30 or 40 bucks. Like, the prospect of the date doesn't have to be overly expensive, because the date should be about getting to know you. If you're really pressed, I've done $5 comedy night dates. I've done picnic dates in the park that cost me nothing more than a couple of groceries and a few sandwiches, Like, the end result of the date is just to get to know each other. And so if you're dating a woman that's more focused on the date and the food she's getting than getting to know you, then she's not worth your time. But that starts with you control where the date's happening, all right? And here's the thing. At the end of the day, you want to make sure that your offer matches her effort. Right now, the effort on both of y'all's parts is very, very low. You met on the dating app, you talked for a little bit, but she was gone for a week and came back, and then she said yes to a date. You don't know her enough to know if she's worth taking on a more expensive date. So what you want to make sure of is that ultimately you're keeping it relatively low key. You're not trying to do concerts. You're not trying to do steak dinners. Nothing overly expensive, not doing amusement parks and anything like that. You're keeping it very low key and chill. If she says, and that's why you control the date. Like, don't ask her where she wants to go. You look up on Yelp. It's very easy today to go on Yelp and look at places in your town and all of their menus. Most Yelp sites, if you go in there, either they'll have pictures of their menus or they'll have a direct link to their website where you can go and check out their menus. You can look at the menu and see how much things cost. Admittedly, with tariffs and inflation, things cost a bit more. I saw a menu the other day where like the Brussels sprouts on there were like $14. Like, get the freak out of here. But again, just the other night, I went to California Pizza Kitchen. Their prices are still relatively the same, $20 for a pizza. Oh my God. So if you get yourself a pizza and she gets a pizza, it's $40. You're not breaking the bank, but you're doing this to see, if she's one of the people that's go with the flow and doesn't need a lot of money to try to spend time with you. And also, that way, you're not, in her head, bribing her for more than just a conversation. Like, I think men forget that a lot of times when women go on dates with guys and it ends up being hella expensive, the woman's thinking, okay, this costs a lot. He probably wants sex from me. And that's why you actually air better if you're going for cheaper dates, because women don't know, okay, this is about getting to know me, not about he spent money, so now he wants sex, right? But at the end of the day, yeah, like, you want to do those cheap dates early on. Make sure that she's bringing energy that is good. Make sure that she's treating you well, that she's involved in the conversation, asking questions about yourself. That's what this is about, right? So don't be worried about, am I being used or not? On some level, we're all getting used in the dating game because she's using her for a meal. You're using her to hopefully get a hookup of some kind. It is what it is. But that doesn't mean it's a bad thing all the time. And also, like I said, most women aren't saying yes to dates, knowing full well that going outside to the unknown versus staying inside and being hella comfortable, most women would rather be comfortable. So don't assume, and that's the thing too, get out of your head this idea that when women say yes to you, it's always about using you. That's really more of a thing you need to analyze in terms of like, why are you thinking that way? And again, it could be because of past history. Maybe you have had women that have used you before, and it just happened so many times that you're always on edge. But I have found that just because you go on a date with a woman and then she doesn't want to see you again, that doesn't mean she was trying to use you. It could mean you didn't know what things to talk about on a date that made her want to stick around. It could mean that she just didn't feel chemistry for whatever reason. It's not always about her trying to use you for a meal. Just like I try to tell women, women will say, yeah, I hooked up with the guy and then he didn't respond back anymore and he just used me for sex. And I'm like, or you guys had sex and then you became clingy. You started mentioning exes that were abusive to you and how you were also abusive. After sex, he wanted to like get in his phone and stuff. And he realized, oh, this girl's a lot. I'm out. And then to her, it feels like she got used for sex. And really, her personality was one that was going to push the guy away, So don't always jump to the conclusion that you're being used. It can happen, but more often than not, that's not what's going on. But anyway, hopefully for now, that answers your question. Hey there, thanks for tuning in to Harry Dating Convos. Don't forget to visit HarryWilmington.com to download my free ebook, Texting Women Like a Boss. And while you're there, if you're ready to take things to the next level with your dating life, check out the Get Girls Academy membership program for exclusive strategies and live coaching. Go to HarryWilmington.com to learn more and join today. Lastly, if you've got a question you'd like answered on one of these shows, leave a comment below or write me at HarryWilmington@gmail.com. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.